You are watching South Asia Newsline, and here are the top stories we are tracking for you on Monday, the 27th of April. India and New Zealand ink once-in-a-generation free trade agreement. Pakistan not a suitable intermediary, says Iranian MP amid stalled talks. And Hindu priest found dead in Bangladesh, minority groups demand action. And now for all the details. India and New Zealand signed a major free trade agreement on Monday, lowering tariffs on key imports like kiwi fruit and apples while boosting market access for Indian exports and easing mobility rules. The deal, concluded in just 9 months, will cut or eliminate tariffs on 95% of New Zealand's exports to India, including seafood, metals and industrial inputs. New Zealand Prime Minister Christopher Luxon, in a statement, highlighted that the pact opens access to India's vast consumer market. India's Commerce Minister Piyush Goyal highlighted a $20 billion investment commitment over the next 15 years. India has protected sensitive sectors such as dairy, coffee, sugar and edible oils, a move seen as setback for New Zealand's dairy industry. At the same time, the agreement is expected to boost Indian exports in textiles, leather, pharmaceuticals, engineering goods and automobiles. The pact also expands services trade across 118 sectors, including IT, telecom, tourism and construction. It introduces 5,000 temporary work visas annually for Indian professionals and 1,000 working holiday visas, along with improved post-study work rights for students. While more than half of New Zealand's exports will become duty-free immediately, others will see phased tariff cuts. The agreement now awaits approval from New Zealand's parliament, but is expected to pass with bipartisan support.
This once-in-a-generation agreement delivers opportunities that New Zealand exporters have never had in India. It will deliver thousands of jobs and unleash huge potential for our world-class exporters. Not only will it enhance established business relationships, it will accelerate the development of new partnerships to significantly boost economic engagement and bringing benefits to both of our countries.
On the investment side, this agreement is expected to channel $20 billion into India, fueling agriculture, manufacturing, food processing, innovation, and generating jobs and business opportunities across the country.
And India is facing record-breaking temperatures, placing it at the center of a global heat wave. Extreme heat conditions are spreading across multiple regions, raising serious concerns. Take a look.
India is witnessing severe heatwave conditions across several regions, with 98 of the world's 100 hottest cities currently located in the country, raising concerns over the impact of rising temperatures. The India Meteorological Office has issued heatwave warnings in northern Haryana state, Chandigarh, and New Delhi, with maximum readings ranging between 40 and 44 degrees Celsius. A school in New Delhi has introduced water bells to remind students to stay hydrated amid soaring temperatures, with teachers directing children to drink water at regular intervals amid ongoing heatwave conditions. Teachers have been instructed to ensure that students drink water after every class, introducing a bell system that signals them to refill water or take a sip from their bottles, the school principal said.
क्लास में टीचर्स को भी हमने इंस्ट्रक्शन दिए हैं कि वो बच्चों को हर पीरियड के बाद पानी पीने के लिए निर्देशित करें और उसके लिए हमने एक बेल सिस्टम शुरू किया है। उस बेल को लगते के साथ बच्चे अपनी वाटर बोतल को फिल करते हैं और अगर पानी बोतल में है तो वो उसे पीते हैं। हमने बच्चों को ये भी प्रेरणा दी है कि अगर आपको प्यास नहीं भी है तो भी एक घूंट पानी आपको हर 35 मिनट के बाद पीना है।
Meanwhile, zoo authorities in several cities are also taking special measures to protect animals and birds from the extreme heat, including the use of shaded enclosures and continuous water-based cooling systems, and maintain safer conditions inside the enclosures. India declares a heat wave when the maximum temperature is 4.5 degrees Celsius to 6.4 degrees Celsius higher than usual, and a severe heat wave when it is 6.5 degrees Celsius higher than normal or more.
जैसे देख ही रहे हैं हम लोग काफ़ी तेज़ी से गर्मी बढ़ रही है, पारा बढ़ रहा है, तो हम लोगों ने फॉगर की व्यवस्था की हुई है जो नाइट सेल्स हैं उसके अंदर. बाकी रेन गन्स और स्प्रिंकलर चल रहे हैं फील्ड में. जहाँ जहाँ हमें ज़रूरत पड़ रही है वहाँ पर हम लोग कूलर की व्यवस्था कर रहे हैं सेल्स में. और जो पक्षी बाड़े हैं उसमें खस की टट्टियाँ लगाई जा रही हैं.
And an Iranian lawmaker has publicly rejected Pakistan's role as a mediator in ongoing regional negotiations, casting doubt on Islamabad's credibility over mediation. In a post on X, Ibrahim Rezai, spokesperson for Iran's National Security and Foreign Policy Commission, described Pakistan as a good friend and neighbor. He argued that it lacks impartiality required for mediation and tends to align with US interests. A mediator must be impartial, he said, not always leaning to one side. His remark come as Iranian Foreign Minister Abbas Araghchi ramps up diplomatic outreach to keep negotiations alive. Araghchi recently visited Islamabad for the second time in 3 days, where he met Pakistan Army Chief Asim Munir to discuss the ongoing conflict and potential pathways forward. Araghchi also held talks with Prime Minister Shehbaz Sharif and other senior officials. Meanwhile, US President Donald Trump signaled a shift in Washington's approach, stating that Iran is free to initiate direct contact if it wishes to resume talks. His remarks follow the cancellation of the planned round of negotiations in Pakistan. The failure of the first and second round of talks has raised broader questions about whether Pakistan, despite being the only active intermediary, has what it takes to bridge such deep divides between Washington and Tehran. With the second round of talks cancelled, the stakes are higher than ever, and so is the pressure to prove its mediation can deliver results. Moving on, a Hindu temple caretaker was found hanging from a tree in southeastern Bangladesh days after he went missing, with police yet to determine whether the death was a murder or suicide. Local media reports suggest 40-year-old Nayan Sadhu was discovered in a hilly area in Cox's Bazar 3 days after he was allegedly taken away by 2 unidentified men last week. A resident of Chattogram, Sadhu worked as a caretaker cum priest at a local Shiva Kali temple. The incident has drawn strong reactions from minority groups. The Bangladesh Hindu Buddhist Christian Unity Council condemned the killing and demanded immediate arrests, while leaders from the Bangladesh Puja Celebration Council also raised concerns, suggesting the circumstances indicate possible murder. Police have launched an investigation following a missing complaint filed by Sadhu's wife, with authorities awaiting the autopsy report. The case comes amid wider concerns over minority safety, with over 130 reported incidents of communal violence in the country earlier this year. Nepal has launched a major eviction drive targeting illegal settlements along riverbanks in Kathmandu Valley. This move signals Prime Minister Balendra Shah's promise that was made when he was the mayor of the capital. We have a report.
A major eviction and demolition campaign is underway in Nepal, with bulldozers clearing encroached areas under tight security deployment. Hundreds of personnel from Nepal Police, Armed Police Force, and municipal units were mobilized this past weekend to oversee the operations, which authorities say proceeded without incident. The eviction marks a significant shift from earlier attempts led by Shah during his tenure as mayor of Kathmandu. A similar drive in November 2022 had triggered violent clashes, leaving dozens injured and forcing authorities to halt the operation.
गत वर्ष पनि हामीले एटेम्प गरेकै हो त्योभन्दा अगाडि वर्षौंदेखि हामीले यहाँ नबस्नुस् भनेर अनुरोध गर्दै आएको हो यो दिनको अभियान होइन यो खाली जग्गा हामीले के सार्वजनिक जग्गा खाली गराउन खोजे मात्रै हो.
The move has drawn mixed reactions from residents. While some have welcomed the initiative, others have urged authorities to ensure fair identification of beneficiaries. The eviction has also attracted scrutiny from rights groups. The National Human Rights Commission has sought updates from the government on measures to identify affected families and arrange alternative housing.
व्यवस्था भनेपछि सबैजना सुकुम्बासी छैनन् धनी धनी पनि छन् हजुरको किनभने यो अरू त भाडामा दिएर बाहिर पनि जानुभएको छ छोरा छोरीहरू सबै बाहिर छन् हजुरको सबै सुकुम्बासी छैनन् हजुरको यहाँ पसल चलाउने सुकुम्बासी पनि सुन त छ तर कस्तो लाग्छ भने छानबिन गर्यो भने भेटिन्छ कि हजुरको सबैलाई बालिन सरकारले अब छानबिन गर्नुभयो नि को सुकुम्बासी सबै.
Prime Minister Shah has framed the campaign as part of a broader plan to resolve Nepal's long-standing squatter issue. He has pledged that the government will distinguish between encroachers and genuine landless families, promising land allocation and rehabilitation for eligible households.
Moving on, thousands of devotees gathered as traditional celebrations of the annual elephant festival of Trishul Puram were held in India's southern Kerala on Sunday. The festival, marked by elaborate rituals, traditional music and golden ceremonial displays atop elephants, drew large crowds of worshippers and tourists, even as authorities said this year's observances were limited to customary and religious practices following a recent fire incident in Thrissur city. The annual celebrations take place at the Vadakannathan temple on the day of the rising moon, typically falling between April and May. The festival is believed to have been introduced in the 18th century by King Saktan Thampuran of the Kochi kingdom and is widely seen as a cultural event that transcends religious and social divisions.
Very happy to be here because we heard about this festival a year ago when we did an Ayurveda treatment in South Kerala, and then we decided to return the year after, which is now, in order to see this festival and celebrate with the local residents here and have this authentic understanding of the Indian culture, which is obviously very difficult to get somewhere else.
2026 Thrissur Puram, owing to the Mundatikoda fire accident incident, the Devasams has decided to avoid all kind of the celebrations and just stick to the customary and the religious and the traditional practices.
That's all in tonight's edition. We will see you same time tomorrow. Good night.